Oftenly used for designing emotional products. So these are emotional design model, pleasure model, basic model of product appraisal, concept engineering, theories of product personality. So emotional design model has been proposed by Dr. Don Norman. He mentioned about the emotional signal processing with 3 levels: visceral level, behavioral level, and reflective level. Let me give one example of emotional signal processing as per this model. Suppose you are bathing in your bathroom and suddenly you saw a spider is coming towards you. So what happens immediately? Your immediate reaction or the feeling is fear. So as this spider appearance is little dangerous in look, sometimes it's kind of the pokey things are coming out of the body of the spider. So all these things, and again there is a chance of spider bite. So that immediate reaction and immediate processing of that signal is coming under the visceral level of processing. So it's very superficial and immediate processing. And then what happens? You change your behavior. Either you run away or you stay, or something, you try to shoo away the spider with a mug of water. So that's the behavioral response is happening here. And so this is the behavioral level of processing. And after that, if you decide upon, okay, you will kill that spider with a stick or some other gadget which is available immediately in the bathroom. So this is the ultimate reflective level of processing of the emotion, and then you perceive a little more bravery, less fear, and you're trying to kill that spider. So does the emotional signal processing happen? So this is one example from our common life. But similar kind of processing is also happening when you are going to purchase any product from shopping mall. So immediately you see at the product, if the product is appealing towards you, you will feel great or happy about this, looking at this product, and this is the visceral level of processing. Then you take an approach to see that product in more detail, what are the qualities present in this product. Then it is coming under this behavioral level of processing, and at the ultimate level you want to decide upon whether you are going to purchase this product or not. If product qualities, functions are satisfying you, then you feel great, or you will try to have it. So you will be happy to having that product, then you are going to purchase it. So that is coming under the reflective level of emotional signal processing. So next model is pleasure model. So this model is basically proposed by the Patrick W. Jordan. He also has written few books on emotional and pleasurable product design. According to the pleasure model, so there are 4 types of pleasure: physio-pleasure, psycho-pleasure, socio-pleasure, and ideo-pleasure. So physio-pleasure is basically related to the aesthetics of the product or bodily comfort. Socio-pleasure is related to the emotions and pleasure which are related to the social event. For example, car race. So if one social event, car race, so many people are actually involved in this, participating in this, and if you win this race, you will feel happy about this, you will be pleased about that event. So again, sometimes audiences are enjoying this kind of car race, so they are also feeling pleasure to be a part of this kind of event. So socio pleasure. Psycho pleasures are related to the understanding and the emotional processing. For example, you have a BMW car, and if that car is having this smiling face, so you look at this car and then feel pleasure about this. And ego pleasure is related to the self value, it's related to the id of a person. For example, if you have Mercedes, you will be having pleasure having this Mercedes. You feel great about it, you will, because it reflects your socio-economic status, and you can show up sometime. Okay, you have this car, so you are in a better position in the socio-economic strata. So this is the example of ego pleasures. Please go through the book written by the Patrick Jordan. You will get more information about pleasures. This is also a model proposed by the Jordan. It is called Jordan hierarchy of user need. So I'm talking about this model. So it's very similar to Maslow's hierarchy of human needs. As per this model, we first give priority towards the functionality of the product, then usability, and then the pleasure. So this is the hierarchy. It's very nice model. If you take the example of product comparison, for example, Flipkart, Amazon, all these e-commerce sites have product compare option. So suppose you are trying to purchase a mobile phone and you are comparing different mobile phones from different brand within a price range, then in the compare chart, first generally consumers are looking at the functionality of the mobile phone, then they look at the user review. So usability is the next part, and if the look and feel of a particular mobile phone is very nice, then again they are considering about the pleasure here, especially so the physiological pleasure in my example, and then they are taking decision on product purchase. There are two examples with the car which are associated with different emotional value of the product. So here I also mentioned about two techniques through which we can determine the emotional value of the product. So here I talked about the eye tracking technique. So two ways can be employed for eye tracking technique. So we can compare the product face with the human face. The first example here with the car. So people are perceiving the car headlights and grille as human eyes and nose. And in the second example, you can see this bike which is represented in the right side of the slide is happy in expression. So another bike is more on neutral kind of expression. So people might look at the happy bikes more rather than the neutral bikes due to the emotional value embedded into it, and attention due to these emotional values can be monitored through eye tracking technique again. So there is another technique called facial EMG. So this technique is very useful to understand the emotions perceived while looking at different products. Here in my example it is car. So one set of car have the baby-like faces with comparatively bigger headlights like human babies. If you look at the face of the human baby have comparatively bigger eyes compared to the adult. So like that, designers have mimicked the same thing here in car face. So they have increased the size of the headlights here to give the baby schema effect, and then the design were evaluated through the technique called EMG, facial EMG. EMG, full form of EMG is electromyography. So it is basically measuring the electrical activity of the facial muscles. So different facial muscles are related to the emotions. For example, we have zygomaticus muscle over here. So zygomaticus muscle activity is related to the emotion happiness, and the other muscle activity is corrugator supercilii, which is situated over the eyebrow, is related to the disgust or sad feeling. This kind of study can be conducted through this technique. It's very nice and effective technique. So these are the cars with baby-like eyes and faces. Then here we are talking about the basic model of product appraisal. This is actually developed by Peter M. Desmet from Delft University of Technology. So this model talks about two factors, which are concern and the product. So product and concerns are basically leading to the appraisal of the product, and thus it gives happiness or sadness or some other emotions. It generates emotions in human mind. Then we have another theory, it's about the Kansai engineering. The word Kansai is actually the Japanese word. So it's roughly, we can translate Kansai as pleasure or emotions. This method is developed by the Nagamachi, Mitsuo Nagamachi from Japan. This is another effective technique for emotional product design. So there are different kinds of Kansai engineering. So I'm not going into details here. So this is the basic model of Kansai engineering process. First we collect the Kansai word. So Kansai words are nothing but the words related to different emotional values. I have shortlisted few Kansai words here. So then in a process we need to go for Kansai survey with target consumers to understand what sort of meanings are relevant to a product context. Then we need to go for statistical analysis of that survey data. Then we need to extract the design feature or design attributes which are related to these emotional words or Kansai keywords. Then we need to incorporate some product attribute into the product as per these meanings, and then evaluate it with the user to come up with the new design with embedded emotional meaning. I am here talking about the theories of product personality. So this is another interesting theory. It's proposed first time by Jordan, and then P.C.M. Grover and the other scientists like Ruth Mooj, J.P.L. Skurman from Delft University of Technology. They elaborated and extended this theory more. As per the theory of product personality, if there is a similarity between the personality of a product with the personality of the consumer, so there is a chance of product acceptance. This is also called product personality congruence effect. Here I showed one example of in the context of bike. So if the biker's personality and bike personality matches, so there is a chance of acceptance. You can look at this model and realize that